Hi, I'm Alix, Paultre, editor-at-large for Microwaves and RF, and I'm here at the Things Industries event here in Amsterdam with Erik Sundqvist. He's with Elsys. So, how's it going, Erik? Enjoying the show?
Yeah, very much. It's nice to be here.
How many years has Elsys been coming?
Oh, I think it's around 5-6 years.
So it's been really coming along.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the show, how it's progressed?
Yeah, it's been very nice. I mean, I'm impressed. Yeah.
There's a lot going on, my friend, right?
Yeah.
So now, but the thing is, when you think about it, right? We've got all of these devices, and we've got all of these deployments. When you think about deploying, and you've got a high traffic environment, you've got a lot of moving parts out there, what are some of the challenges that you have to deal with?
Yeah, there are a lot of different challenges with the LoRaWAN because there's a lot of configuration options, and there's some common pitfalls that don't show up in a proof of concept. But when
for example,
if you make a mistake with configuring the amount of channels you're using, you might move from a proof of concept that works fine with hundreds of devices, moving up to thousands, and then you don't have enough space in the radio channel, so it's going to collapse basically. So very bad.
What are some of the other issues?
I think some other issues are configuration problems with the adaptive data rate and the different regions, as the LoRaWAN specification is an evolving specification that has been having some major updates the latest years, which is it's difficult to see if the devices or the server is adapted to the very latest specification. And but I think that's kind of solving itself now when it's maturing the specification and it's getting more companies together to make the best of it.
Well, I can imagine that that's one of the reasons we have these solution providers like yourselves, that there are still some mistakes that the manufacturers are making, some of the errors in their trying to do their deployment. And what are some of the ways that you're addressing those errors?
Yeah, we are device manufacturers, so we often speak to our potential customers and tell them that come to us if you have any doubts about the installation. We've done countless installations and we know what can go wrong in the beginning, which will cost a lot to fix in the end. And we want to make sure that you don't do those mistakes. So
a stitch in time saves 9, right? You take care, measure
exactly.
twice, cut once. There are a lot of ways to say be careful.
Yes. Yeah. Don't be afraid to ask.
So now I understand you've got a device on the Wall of Fame this year.
Yeah.
What is this it? Wanted to tell us about it, or is this something different? Or
this is something different.
Well, then tell us about what you have on the wall, and then we'll talk about this.
Yeah, on the wall we have our solar-powered Eco and the CO2 and the standard variant, and we also have. I'm not really sure which one we have, but this is the one we were supposed to have, but it was LoRa certified one day after the deadline for the Wall of Fame. So unfortunately,
timing.
Yeah.
Well, then, but now we have the opportunity. Why don't you tell us about these devices?
I would very much like to tell you about our new device, which is has a very similar form factor to our standard ERS series, which are our indoor room sensors, but it has a display, an e-ink display, which together with 2 batteries will last more than 10 years, even with a refresh rate of 10 minutes per.
That's actually pretty frequent for a room monitoring application.
Yes. We've worked very hard with the display to get both the 4-bit grayscale and low power consumption and minimum flickering to get a premium feeling of the e-ink display. It's quite hard to get e-ink displays that size and that cost, which are quality controllers in.
Right. Well, it has to look good. You can't.
Yeah, it has to look good. We won't sell something that looks bad.
So now, when you think about that, right? When the high traffic networks.
Yeah.
Right. What advice would you give on ways to proactively prevent some of the issues that they're encountering, that the facilities are encountering?
Yeah, I would say that the most important part is to continuously monitor the health of the network from proof of concept to final installation and after. But monitoring the health and looking at specific indicators during the installation and during the move from proof of concept to final full installation, monitor the network health and you will see these potential problems show up before they are critical, and you can address them. So that's basically
what are some of these indicators?
Some of these indicators are the different usage of spreading factors. You want to avoid to have very high spreading factors, and you can check the RSI levels. And also one very good indicator is the amount of downlink activity in the network. If there's going a lot of control commands, LoRaWAN MAC commands down, that's maybe a sign something is wrong, unless the network is very, very large already. But for a few hundred sensors, if you see more control commands for ADR and different things like that, then real downlink messages or uplink messages, something is wrong.
So the nature of the traffic can tell you the problem.
Yes. Yes.
Interesting. Are there any other indicators that you can think of off the top of your head, or?
Yeah, indicators can be like
power usage,
or maybe data throughput. Are you really getting all the data, or are you having a high rate of packet loss? That's common, but just packet loss won't tell you what's wrong, but that something's wrong.
Could be a timing issue.
Yeah, exactly.
There are a lot of reasons for the packets not to be arriving.
Yes.
That's very interesting. So what are some of the other solutions that you're offering to help address these things?
Yeah, as we only do devices, we have a good knowledge of the LoRaWAN stack. I think that's what we're best at doing, is that we get questions to us and we can provide professional support throughout the whole installation, even though we're only doing devices, because we have such a good understanding of the LoRaWAN stack and how the LoRaWAN network works, and the whole architecture from end node to gateway to network server to application server and so on. And so all that has a function, but it's really common that you say that device is broken, but it's something else in this very long chain of
with a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
So, but then that brings me to another question that I'm enjoying asking people here, because it really does involve an element of hands-on. How closely do you have to work with your clients to get these implementations done properly?
It really differs. If the customers contact us before installation, it's usually just emails or some phone calls or some video call meetings maybe. But we've had the cases where we had to fly out technicians to the customers and just
unravel it.
Just get it done. Just fix it. So yeah.
So that brings another interesting question though. How much of it is fixing and solving their problem, and how much of it is enhancing their solution by adding yours to it?
I think there's less fixing
and more enhancing.
Yeah, more enhancing and less fixing, because at least now it's like that. Before it was more fixing, or 50-50. I'm not really sure, but yeah, it was so new. The technique was so new. People didn't really know, or compared it to Wi-Fi or something that has basically unlimited power. LoRa has none in the sense. So yeah.
But then again, that's why it's suited for so many interesting applications.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Exactly. But then again, that makes sense though. There's always going to be an introduction, but now we are in the solutions phase of LoRaWAN, right?
Yeah.
So before I let you go, could you have any final ideas or thoughts, or just anything you want to leave our audience with? Comments on the product or the company?
Not really. I just like the conference this year, and I hope many people stop by our booth to look at the display sensors.
Well, I hope they do too.
Firsthand. Yeah.
Very cool. And well, of course, there's information about your organization on the site.
Yeah.
Eric, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate you taking the time, especially during this fun and busy conference.
Yeah.